Welcome to Vista Motorhomes and our Swift Voyager 485. I'm going to show you how everything works around the motorhome so you can make the most of your motorhome experience. This key fob operates the central locking on the motorhome, which will open the cab doors and this main entrance door here. This is your ignition key. The other key on this fob operates all the lockers on the rear of the motorhome. This motorhome is diesel. The filler cap is here by the passenger door. Just open this flap and there's your diesel filler. If the AdBlue light comes on, you can fill with AdBlue here. Remove this blue cap. AdBlue is available at most petrol stations. Just fill up off the pump or from a canister. If you were to accidentally get AdBlue in the diesel tank or vice versa, really important, don't start the motorhome, contact us straight away. To connect the motorhome to mains electricity, this is your hookup point here on the right of the motorhome. There are two ends to your hookup cable. This one attaches to the motorhome and this one attaches to the campsite power supply. 25-meter cable is supplied on this reel. Make sure you fully unwind it before using it. You'll first attach this end to the motorhome. There's a locating pin at the bottom, so it'll go in the right way, and then attach the other end to the campsite power supply. If you need to plug in at home, you can use this 3-pin hookup adapter. So the end that would normally go to the campsite power supply plugs in here, and then you can plug it in as normal. We supply a hose for filling the freshwater tanks with water. The hose has various connections, so should attach to the connector on the campsite tap. The filler point on the motorhome is here, so lift up this flap. It is a lockable cap, so use this key. Turn to horizontal and then twist this anti-clockwise and it'll easily come out. Attach to the tap on the campsite water supply. Put this in here and hold, then you can turn on the tap. There's a gauge inside the motorhome that will tell you how full the water tanks are. When they're as full as you want them to be, turn off the tap, remove this, and you're going to want to lock this back up. So put this in, turn clockwise, and then turn the key back to vertical, and that's locked so no one can tamper with your water supply. Everyone's favourite job, the toilet cassette. You can access the toilet cassette via this compartment. So turn this to horizontal, push in here and push in here, and you can see the toilet cassette inside. There is an indicator inside that will tell you when it's full, but it's also good practice to just empty it before you leave a campsite. To remove the toilet cassette, pull up this blue handle at the bottom and the toilet cassette should easily slide out. If it doesn't, the valve might have been left open inside, so go and check. You'll need to take this to the chemical toilet disposal point on the campsite. It can be quite heavy, so there's a handle here that you can pull out and wheels to pull this along to the chemical toilet disposal point. When you get there, first thing you need to do is pull out this twisting pipe here and unscrew the blue end cap. You're going to empty the contents into the chemical toilet disposal point. Push on this blue button here as you tip, which will help the contents to come out. You're going to then need to use a hose at the chemical toilet disposal point to give this a good swill before then filling with more toilet blue, which you'll find in the garage of the motorhome. You can actually open the top of the toilet cassette by sliding this plate back and turning this button here, which can give you access to help clean out the toilet cassette. Before you put it back into the motorhome, you're going to want to refill with toilet chemical. You need about a cupful, so you can pour it in here and just pour directly into this hole in the top. Then close the valve, slide this back in, put the cap back on here, slide back into position. You're then ready to put the toilet cassette back. So get it back in line and push it back in. Make sure this blue lever is tucked in. Close the door and you can lock. Turn back to vertical here. The gas locker is here. To open it, turn these two locks to vertical and then press down on both of these catches at the same time to open the locker. The gas cylinder will be supplied closed for safety purposes. To open it, twist this anti-clockwise, there's an arrow on the top to remind you, and then to start the flow of gas, push down on this gauge and this black button at the same time. Never travel with the gas canister open, so to close it, turn this valve on the top clockwise. If you need to exchange the gas canister, you're going to disconnect at this inner connection here. Use the gas spanner provided to turn clockwise until it's undone. You can then untighten it by hand. Take the straps off the gas canister and you can exchange this at anywhere you see the Calagas symbol, like campsites and petrol stations. When you've got your new gas cylinder, place it in the base here and secure with this strap. You can then reconnect here, turning anti-clockwise. You can hand tighten to start with and then use the gas spanner to get it nice and tight. Close the gas locker, push this till you hear a click and then turn both locks to horizontal. To avoid travelling with excess weight, we recommend that you drain most of the water from the fresh water tank before travel. You'll find the drain here on the passenger side of the vehicle. So to open it, just hold onto the back here and turn anti-clockwise. To close it again, turn back clockwise. Empty the wastewater before travelling. The wastewater drain is on the passenger side of the motorhome. You'll need to find the appropriate grey water drain on your campsite. To open it, hold here and then turn this lever anti-clockwise. To close it again, turn clockwise. To open the garage, turn this lock anti-clockwise. To close again, turn clockwise. There's a fly screen on the main entrance door. To use the bike rack, put it down off these clips and secure the straps on either side. This is a Thule Elite bike rack that accommodates 4 bikes. Make sure you watch the online Thule instructions before loading your bikes. Folding away the bike rack, make sure that both of these straps are undone, the arms are secured and these wheel holders are outside the frame, and then you can push this up onto its clips. The main control panel is above the entrance door. To turn it on, use this central button here. The motorhome in the middle will give you an indication of where your power is coming from. This light here means it's coming from the leisure battery on the motorhome. If you have a light here, it means it's coming from the hookup on your campsite power supply. If this button is pressed, it starts coming from your vehicle battery. You need to avoid this except in an emergency because it will flatten your battery. To turn on the pump, use this tap symbol. This light symbol here will turn on all the lights in the motorhome, or you can just turn them on individually. To turn on the outside light, use this button here and you'll get a little indicator up there to remind you it's on. To see the battery and water levels in the motorhome, press this graph button here. This will show you the condition of your leisure battery. This shows you the condition of your vehicle battery. This shows you how much fresh water you have, and this shows you how much wastewater you have. There's also a tank heating feature, but you would only need this in very cold winter temperatures. To the left of your main control panel is this panel which controls your heating and hot water. To turn it on, press the central button here. You'll notice you're on electric hookup when you see this symbol here. This is to control your heating. This is to control your hot water. This tells you the power supply that you're using, and this is for fan speed. So if we start with heating, when the symbol is flashing, press to select, and you can turn the heating temperature up or down and press to select. To select the power source, scroll to the third symbol and again press to select. Electric 2 is the selection that you'd normally have for most campsites. If you do have a campsite with lower wattage supply, where things are tripping out, move down to electric 1. You can also have a mix of electric and gas. Again, with a normal campsite supply is 2, lower wattage it's 1, or you can select gas only. When you've got the source you want, press to confirm. Scroll to the final fan symbol and press to select, so you can have the fan on eco, obviously the most economical, or high for a higher fan speed to warm the motorhome up faster. Again, press to confirm. To control the hot water, scroll to the second symbol, press to confirm. It's off at the moment, so you can choose eco, which is 50-degree hot water, hot, which is 70-degree hot water, or boost to heat up as quickly as possible. When you've got the option you want, press to confirm. As with the heating, use the third symbol to select the power source. When you're on most campsites, electric 2 is fine when you have electric hookup. For lower wattage supplies, electric 1. You can have mix 2 for most campsites for electric and gas, mix 1 for lower wattage, or again gas only. When you've got the option you want, press to confirm. If you do want to use a timer, scroll on till you get on the bottom row here. You can use a timer function for your heating or hot water. You may also need to set the clock first. If you see a warning triangle here, it's an error message. You can scroll and select that message. A common fault is we've selected gas and the gas canister isn't turned on, so that's telling you that there's an error and reminding you to go and turn the gas on. This light here tells you you're on electric hookup. If you are on hookup but the light isn't lit, the most common problem is a problem with the campsite power supply, so check that first. If you still have a problem, you'll need to go to the master control panel, which is under the forward facing dinette seat. This side here is your 240 volt fuse board, which is very much like your fuse board at home. If any of these trip switches have tripped down, you can push them back up to reset. There's also lights here that should always be on for your heating and hot water and to charge the battery from mains electricity. If they're not on, just press down so that they're lit. On this side are the fuses for the 12 volt systems on the motorhome, like lights, pump, fridge and heating. If there's no power to this unit at all, check that it's switched on at the main switch here. In the kitchen, you've got your sink and cooker. The hob works pretty much like it would at home. You've got 3 gas rings and electric hot plate. So just light the gas hobs as normal. For this igniter to work, your 12 volts does need to be switched on. Press and hold the knob for a while and then you can let go and adjust the temperature as normal. If you're on a campsite with electric hookup, you can use this electric plate. So just turn the selector knob. Never put this glass lid down with any of the burners on, and you'll have to wait for the electric plate to cool down before you can put the lid down. The oven and grill are controlled with this knob here. If you look at the symbols, left is to turn on the oven. So turn and then press the igniter here. You'll just have to hold for a few seconds, otherwise the light will go out, and then you can let go and adjust to the required temperature. For the grill, same process, but turn to the right, use the igniter, press and hold. When using the grill, you need to leave the door open like this and also pull this heat protection plate out to protect the knobs from the heat. This is a 3-way fridge, so it'll operate on electricity, gas, or even from the vehicle battery while you're driving. To turn it on, press and hold this button here. Your mode selector is on the top right here, so you can select each of the individual power sources. So you've got vehicle battery, gas and electric. The easiest thing to put it on most of the time is auto, which will automatically select the best available power supply. The only exception to this is when you've been driving and need to go on to gas. You'll need to do this manually because there's a safety cutout that prevents the fridge from lighting on gas within 20 minutes of driving. So scroll through manually to the gas flame. You can adjust the temperature using this button here. If you need to turn the fridge off completely, press and hold this button here. You won't be able to select gas or electricity when the ignition is on. To use the kitchen worktop extension, just pull up until it clicks into place, and then to fold it down, use these catches here, push those and push down to secure in place. There's a TV and DVD player. It operates on 12 volts, so always make sure that this plug here is plugged in. The remote control is in the drawer, or there are manual controls just here on the left of the TV. To watch a DVD, put it in on the right hand side of the TV. It should have label back and mirror side forward. The booster for the TV aerial is in this cupboard above the fridge. It should always be left on. The blue light shows you that it's on. In the living area, you've got a 3-pin socket and 12-volt socket here above the TV. You've got additional 3-pin sockets by the driver's seats here and here. You also have double USB chargers here, below this seat here, and another one just up there for use from the overcab bed. There's also a 3-pin socket here in the kitchen. The main light for the rear bedroom is here by the door. You've also got 12-volt and 3-pin sockets above. By the bed, you have a 3-pin socket, 2 USB chargers and another light switch. There are reading lights above both beds. To lock the main entrance door from inside, push this handle inwards, and to unlock, pull it back outwards. Have the bathroom door open when you're travelling and secure it with this strap. The bathroom door slides closed. The bathroom light switch is under the bathroom cabinet. The toilet flush is operated by this button here. To open the valve in the bottom of the toilet, push this grey lever to the right, and then you can push it back to the left to close it. Remember to always close it so you don't get smells coming into the bathroom. This indicator on the back of the toilet will move from green to red to show you when the toilet cassette is full. The bathroom sink can be folded away to make more space when you're showering. Just make sure it's empty before pushing it up. The shower is operated from this separate tap here. Before showering, remove this mat. You can put it outside the bathroom door and use it as a mat for when you step out of the shower. For extra ventilation in the bathroom, you can open this vent. Just push the button and pull this lever backwards to get it all the way open. You can also have it halfway. When it's open, you might want to use this fly screen. To close again, pull backwards a bit and then it will click back in beyond this button. When you're in the motorhome, you can push this bed up out of the way to give yourself more headroom. To bring it back down, simply pull here. The ladder is stowed here. To use the ladder, clip it onto these 2 supports here and make sure the feet are flat on the floor. When you're not using the ladder, remove it, and if you want to stow it out of the way, just push these feet so they are in a vertical position, and you can stow the ladder on these hooks by the door. It's clicked in at the top and at the bottom. The overcab bed is not suitable for children under 6, and when your vehicle is moving, make sure it's always in the down position for safety. All the windows come with night blinds and also fly screens. To open the window, you have to always press these knobs before turning the handles. Open all the catches and then you can push the window outwards. When you've got it as open as you want it, just turn these knobs here to secure it in position. Release this knob to close the window and then lock all the catches down securely. You do have to press the knobs again to turn them back to the closed position. There There are skylights in the living room and bedroom. Both have night lights and also fly screens. To open the skylight, hold this bar, twist and push forwards. It will stop in various positions. To close it again, twist and pull backwards. Make sure these catches locate in here to lock the skylight in place. Never drive with the skylight open. Before travel, all the drawers and cupboards should be closed and secured using these catches here. To open again, just press. To open the cupboards in the diner area, push this button and open. When you close again, make sure this clicks back into place. You'll find the fire extinguisher here by the bathroom door. Fire blanket and first aid kit above the fridge. You can swivel both of the front seats. To do this, first of all, make sure it's quite far forward using this full width bar here. Then use the half width bar here, pull it outwards and turn. The motorhome is based on a Ford Transit, so it has all the features you'd expect in a modern vehicle, like cruise control and an infotainment system. You can connect your own devices to this via Bluetooth or the USB connection here. There's also two 12-volt chargers in the front of the motorhome. This motorhome has an electronic parking brake. To take off the parking brake, push the brake pedal and push this button here. To put the brake back on, just pull this out. Dashboard symbol will tell you whether the parking brake is on or off. You'll find detailed instructions in your motorhome information pack, as well as insurance and breakdown cover documents. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it'll help you to make the most of your trip.